Hello and welcome to an updated tutorial on how to do fast A-Tecs. I made a tutorial in the past of how to do A-Tecs much faster than we originally thought you could, and I'm just going to pretty much update what I did last time to make it a little bit quicker and a little bit better. So since then we have made this tool. It was made by a user of the FM community. I actually forget his name. I'll give credit to him in the description. But pretty much this tool helps you keep track of your rank in Forbidden Memories. You don't have to use it, but I recommend it. It's rather easy to use. Pretty much what you want to do if you want to use this tool, when you hit A-Tec mode, it puts it into what we used to think was the optimal setup for an A-Tec. Now, remaining life points under 1,000, that is something that at least I no longer do, because typically that takes a lot more time to set up. So I'm going to put it here. You pretty much just need to have under 7,000 life points left. That's the first big thing that you want to do. Total annihilation, you just keep that like that. And if you want to set this up to constantly be doing A-Tecs, you can pretty much set these numbers to whatever you want and then check it. And then even when you reset all the stuff, that stuff will stay. So as you can see, none of that really changed. So pretty much whenever I open this up, I put equips to 1 because you have to use 1 equip in order to get the fast A-Tec. I put pure magics used to 4. That is the main. That is one of the bigger things, not the main thing I would say, with doing this. Hang on, I'm just gonna. All right, so this is a deck. I kind of just found it in my old save states, but pretty much this is somewhat what your magic should look like. You need to have at least 4 pure magic. A pure magic is anything that just says magic here. It can be you can buy Sparks and Curse Breaker. Each of them is 10 star chips. And you could find the codes in the description. But Regeki counts for 1, and any field cards that you win along the run you can use. So I just have Regeki and these 3 field cards that I'm going to use. The biggest thing is you need to have a trap card. If you want a trap card, Acid Trap Hole is probably the easiest to get. It's an 84 out of 2048 chance to drop on BCD rank on Kaiba. So I recommend going there if you really need to get a trap. And also stuff like Widespread Ruin, 1 from Isis, which is a 32 out of 2048 on BCD rank, would also work. I have 2 in here right now just because I want to make sure I actually get an A-Tec for this video. If you don't draw your trap until the last turn or second to last turn, you may not get an A rank because you won't be able to actually make your trap activate. And as you can see, this is what my current rank would be if I ended the duel with these statistics. Now, when I put in 1 trap, it goes down a lot. Quite a lot. As you can see, it's a huge difference. It brings it down 10 whole points. So that's why traps are very much needed. And then I keep the rest at 0 because I don't know how many fusions or face down plays or effective attacks I'm going to be doing. Turns is kept at 9 because anything above 9 turns is all the same. Same thing with equips. If you use 2 or 3, it's all going to be the same. Until you use 4 equips, it doesn't change anything. Pure magics, you need to use at least 4. Anything above doesn't do anything as far as I know. Cards used 37. That pretty much means that you have to end the duel with 3 cards left or less. And keep fusions at 0 because as you make fusions during your duel, you can increment this to reflect how many fusions you did. The best way to do it is if you have a deck that can fuse a lot, you want to aim for 15 fusions during the duel. If you can only get to 10, then you're going to need to get your effective attacks up to 4. What an effective attack is when your opponent will attack any card that you have, and then your opponent now has a monster that's in face-up attack mode. Well, if you attack that monster and kill it, you're obviously going to deal damage to his life points from attacking a monster. That's an effective attack. It's when you hit one of his monsters and damage his life points. And 4 of those will make it so you only have to do 10 fusions. Like, it cancels it out. But if you don't have 4 of those, then you have to have 15 fusions. Face down plays typically won't matter. I actually usually set this to 1 because until you do like a lot, it's not actually going to matter. And you're not going to do like 11 face down plays during a duel if you want to be optimal. So I pretty much just set this to 1. And key bindings. This is a really useful thing. For in addition to fusion, I have it set at numpad 1. You can set this to anything you want. And these are pretty much just global hotkeys, I guess, that you press while you're playing. And it will increment whatever that is. So every time I do a fusion, I just hit numpad 1 and it goes up 1. Every time I get an effective attack, you know, face down I used to do. I don't use that really anymore. I don't even know why I have traps plus. That doesn't really matter. And the reset button I have is 5. So when I'm done with a duel, I can just hit, let's say I'm doing a duel, right? And I have 10 of these and like 4 of those. Look at that. It's an A-Tec, but instead of clicking reset, you know, if you're on emulator, you have to click back and forth. I could just hit numpad 5, it resets back, and then I can, you know, start incrementing it again. So that's pretty much the logistics of how it's going to work. Now I'm going to actually show you how it works. Most of the people watching this video probably want to do A-Tecs on this guy, Pegasus. He drops Megamorph, Bright Castle, Widespread, lots of good stuff. So let's see if we can pull off an A-Tec and do this. So you want to focus on doing a lot of fusions, obviously. So for your first fusion, however, I recommend just getting something powerful out. That's your number one thing. Once you're able to be winning constantly against him, that's when you can worry about doing a lot of fusions. So this is 3 fusions, and I end up with a powerful monster. That's good, and pretty much that's all I really need, unless he plays MBD. Alright. So now we just, typically whenever I get a magic, I just set it face down, and I save it until the very end. You don't have to do that. You can play it right away, but it may or may not screw you over pretty much, because if he plays something that gets powered up by that field, it can possibly really wreck you. So I recommend against that. Now it's really just getting your fusion count up by just it's really just knowing the fusions here. A lot of really good fusions come between thunders, waters, spellcasters, and dragons. I'll probably end up doing some of those. But a lot of times you won't have too many of those things during a speed run, so it's really just what you have. Use. You have to know the fusions to be able to do a lot of this stuff. So I'm already at 8 fusions. So this is going along quite nicely. But then again, this deck is very developed. This deck is extremely developed already, so that's why it's so easy for me to do a lot of fusions. You're typically not going to have a deck like this during a speed run, unless it's a race, or unless you know, you've been running for a lot of hours. But okay, so now that he did that, I can get an effective attack. And I'm probably going to do that too. So I'm just going to get rid of some monsters here, do a fusion or 2. And this is an effective attack right here. See, I hit a monster that was in face-up attack position, and that's an effective attack. So if I can get 3 more of those, and I don't really have to fuse anymore, but obviously I have 21 cards left, I'm going to be doing a lot of fusing. So this is just an example of doing a lot of fusions with one hand. So I need 2 more fusions, and then we're pretty much good. I still need to draw my trap. That's the one reason I put in 2 traps for this video. You're likely only going to have 1. So, yeah. Alright, so this is good. This is 2 of those. I have that, so that's 3 out of the 4 that I need, and there's my widespread. So I'm going to put that down. I'm going to put this in the defense mode. That's the lowest number here is 2,000. So it gives me a shot that he'll attack it. He probably won't, but if he attacks it, then my widespread will go off, and I don't have to really waste any time playing a weak monster, so he'll attack it. So right now I'm just going to get rid of all these magics so I don't have to deal with it. I like to get rid of all the magics from my hand so I don't have to discard less cards per turn. Alright, there's my acid trap hole. I don't need to use that because I already have 1 trap out, and using 2 traps doesn't help. I also need to take damage. I need to have less than 7,000 life points. So, let's see here. So I'm probably just going to do the 2 fusions that I need. That's 1, 2, and make it safe with 3. So this will be good already. It doesn't matter past 15. You don't really have to keep track of it past then. So now I just need to worry about taking the damage that I need and activating that widespread, which is pretty easy to do. I can just get rid of this, and yeah, attack that and take some damage on purpose. Now one thing you have to watch out for, if the A-Tec goes on for a while, he might start playing magics, such as Regeki. He won't have anything on his side of the field, but he's able to play Regeki later on when he runs out of monsters in his hand. So one good way around that is to make sure that you just keep his life points near the end, keep them somewhat low, just in case. Because if he Regeki'd me before then, I wouldn't be able to make enough stuff to kill him. But if he does it now, I will be able to. So that should be all the damage I need. And my card count is now 3, which means I'm good. So now that I have 3 cards left, that's the 37 cards used, so I'm good there. My life points is good. I did enough fusions. These were all face down plays, so you don't really have to worry about that. Effective attacks didn't matter at all. Did I use an equip? I don't think I did. Okay, I need to wait for an equip then. So I'm just gonna probably Regeki now so I don't damage him too much. Still need to use an equip. I have 2 equips, 2 or 3 in this deck, so I don't know where they are. Alright, there's one. So equip used, pure magics, I used the Regeki and I have the other 3, so that's where that comes in. Traps activated already, yeah, and turns, it's always going to be more than 9. So right now I'm good to end this duel. And it will be A-Tec. Don't forget to use all the magics down here. And then just attack, and you're done. And this will be an A-Tec. There it is. I won Forest. You want to see Megamorph for Bright Castle or Dragon Treasure or something, I'm assuming, or Widespread Ruin. But that is how to do much faster A-Tecs than you typically would. I don't recommend even going for it if you don't have a trap card. Some people still will. You can watch my old tutorial video for that, but I wouldn't even bother with it because it's more difficult and it's just it takes a lot longer, and I just generally don't feel like it's worth it, at least in a speed run. And if you're doing a casual run, it shouldn't be that hard to pick up an acid trap hole off of Kaiba or something. So that's pretty much it. I don't think I'm leaving anything out. A-Tecs are extremely useful. You can A-Tec Kaiba as well, and he drops some cool stuff like Crush Card at a 40. And yeah, like I said, you don't have to do 15 fusions. If you can only pull off 10, just make sure that you get your effective attacks up to 4, and you'll be good. Always make sure to play at least one card face down. You shouldn't have any trouble doing that, because as soon as you get magics, just play them face down, and you don't have to worry about this. Cards used, as long as it says 3 or less, then you're fine. Equips, obviously you have to use your equip. The 4 magics, you start with 2, Regeki in your field card, and you can buy Curse Breaker and Sparks each for 10 star chips, which is easy. And plus, if you win any field cards along the World Tournament, you can just use those. Traps activated, that's the biggest player. As you can see, if this goes to 0, it goes to B-Tech, and it's, in order to get A-Tech, you need to be at less than 20. So doing it this way makes you right in an A-Tech. Anything, if you mess up anything, it's not going to be an A-Tech. So don't forget anything, and especially don't forget the trap, because it's just, as you can see, when you don't do a trap, that's another 10 points that you have to account for, and then like you got to do stuff like 15 fusions will get you there. And I remember we did like 11 face down, and what else was there? Effective attacks had to be even higher. I don't know if it was 10, or no, it wasn't. We put this down to here, and then yeah, you still would need to do at least 4 effective attacks, 11 face down plays, 15 fusions, get under 1,000 life points, and still do everything else, and just don't use the trap. So that's why traps are so useful, because you just don't have to do any of that crap as long as you have a trap. So thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful. I will include the link to download the Forbidden Memories rank calculator in the description, and I will also include the codes for Curse Breaker and Sparks to get them at the password screen. So thanks for watching. I hope this cleared some stuff up, and I'll see you next time.